What I'm going to be talking about today is the concept of spirit guide. And because I have one, his name is Mahalalel, and I've been calling him Ma since I was 5 years old when I first met him. And the concept of spirit guides appears in many religious traditions. Whether they're ancient Egyptian religion, they have spirit guides. Hindu, they have spirit guides. Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam all have to do with spirit guides. And this is one of the things that's so exciting about having a spirit guide is that you have a guide that talks to you. And so many of you should be hearing from your spirit guides. But what Ma says is you don't think you have one. And since you don't think you have a spirit guide, they kind of go, maybe I'm not going to hang around much longer. So I want you today, as I'm talking, get an idea of how to get in touch with your spirit guide and how you can use them. I say him because mine is, he has a masculine name, and with that, I call him him, but he says I could call him her if I wanted to. He's a guide. He doesn't care what gender I give him. And that's interesting because all of these religions that have spirit guides, they don't tend to say that it has to be male or there has to be female. But know that you have one, and you can find out from it whether it's want to be heard and seen as male or female, or whether they don't care. And because in Judaism, it has a concept of divine guidance, often understood through the teachings of the Torah and the wisdom of ancestors and prophets. However, the role of spirit guides is not central to mainstream belief. So that's nice that we know that they have it, but it's not central. And many indigenous and shamanic practices like Native American, Siberian, or Amazonian traditions, spirit guides are commonly seen as animal spirits, ancestors, or nature spirits that help individuals on their spiritual journey. These guides offer wisdom, healing, and protection. And I can go through here about where they come from, because the spirit guide that we have been around for a long time. I just shared with Glenn right now that my spirit guide is in the Bible, and he is in Genesis, and all of these short names are there, Adam and Eve, and then you get into Mahalalel. And that looks out of the world, that he is in Genesis of the Bible.
Was that just revealed to you, Dottie?
Oh no, I've known it for a long time. It wasn't just revealed to me. And so when you think of spirit guides in spiritualism, this is what we believe in our church, and as a belief system focused on communication with the dead. It holds that spirits of deceased loved ones or enlightened beings serve as guides, helping individuals with decisions and spiritual programs. So that's why I know that having Ma as my guide is what got me into the Universal Church of the Master. And so I left the Church of Religious Science to go into the Church, Universal Church of the Master, and then formed my own church. And that's because I felt very drawn to it, because it talks very much about listening to spirit. It believes that just because we die doesn't mean we're gone. It means we are in another place and we can still communicate. And so what I wanted to do is start today with some of the things that Ma has done for me. As many of you know, when I do readings, Ma predicts things in the future. He finds lost items and controls good weather. But people are always calling me, Dottie, can you do something about the weather? And I have to laugh because I can. And sometimes I just think, oh, they're going to have to do it themselves. But usually, if the weather is rough, give me a call. Ma is good at doing weather. He's quite a character, and I'm delighted he chose me when I was a young girl living in Lancaster, California. The first time I saw Ma, he joined me in my playhouse. He was all dressed in white and what I suppose was a bandage around his head, because it was that time. The war had just started, and there was everybody that were coming back and everybody going. They had different things happening to their bodies. But many years later, when I was around 12, I saw Cortapondit on television, and he was wearing what my mother called a turban. I then realized that's what Ma wore on his head. Later in life, I asked him if it was a Sikh. He said no, he simply looks good in a turban. I've since found out that Ma is Hindu. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Mahalalayal's from India, the province of Madras, as he puts it. And he was quite glad to serve as my guide when I started searching the universe for answers. Even though I was only 5 years old, he visited me. And when I talked about him coming to my playhouse was a box that had been shipped a refrigerator in, and it was laying on its side under a weeping willow tree in the desert. And that was one of the few trees on our land. And so they put it out there for me to have as a playhouse. And one morning I walked into my playhouse and sat down, and this man appeared, all dressed in white. And he started talking to me and telling me that I had good thoughts, I had good things going on, and I was going to have a good and exciting life, which I have. And he's talked to me ever since then. But he doesn't show himself to me ever since then. Mainly, I just hear him. I hear him when I do readings. And you hire me to do a reading for you, I sit down, close my eyes, and I hear his voice. And that's how I do psychic readings. And he's very good at telling you things that you want to know. Sometimes they're not things you've asked, but they're things that he feels you ought to know. So when you hire me to do a reading, you've got to be careful, because Ma's going to tell you things he thinks you need to know. And also he'll answer your questions too.
And you might not like some of the answers.
Joan says, and you might not like some of the answers.
That happened to me. You know.
But was he right?
He was right.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Yeah, wonderful. So I've been calling him Ma for years. And at one point when we visited the bookstore in Mountain Shasta, the Golden Bough bookstore, and Gail's online, drew my attention to a magnet, and I was surprised to see the face of Ma. When I asked the clerk the person's name, she said, Babaji. And I thought, no, that's Ma. She said, I asked Ma why he looked so much like this Babaji. He said, I'm part of his incarnation. And a lot of you have heard of Babaji, and some of you have studied with him, and he's just fantastic. But he's also a guide. And so however that works, since Ma goes all the way back to the Bible. That's what I started out with, of saying he's in Genesis. And it says his name there, and it's spelled the way I spelled it when I was a little girl. So I know that he and I are really connected. He also is a great-great-grandson of Adam, or as he refers to himself, as the great-great-grandfather of Methuselah. So that gives you an idea. Genesis chapter 5, 12 through 17. The last time I saw Ma, I was working late. The doors were all locked and I was busily working on the computer when I felt a presence. I glanced at the doorway and there stood a man. I screamed and he faded. In my head, I heard Ma's voice as he said, local psychic died of heart failure upon seeing spirit in the doorway. He giggled and then promised me he would never appear that suddenly again. And he is not. When doing readings, I refer to Ma as my spirit guide, guardian angel, or simply his name. I've learned over many years how to talk to a client and listen to Ma simultaneously. Ma and I have been together for 82 years. I'm talking about my personal experience with my spirit guide. Feel free to ask Ma about your spirit guide, your guardian angel. The best way for you to contact Ma directly is to sit quietly by yourself and ask him a question. I've been asking Ma questions all my life. For instance, my husband and I, he was a World War II buff, and we went to Hawaii. When we were in Honolulu, we visited Pearl Harbor to see the USS Arizona. When we arrived, I was feeling queasy from the small boat ride out to the memorial. I sat down when we got there, my back to the list of names of the men who lost their lives during the attack. Ma said, "Johnson." I said, "What?" And he said, "Oh, I've just given you a couple of names of people there." Sam said she could see their names on the list. "Who else is here?" Ma said, "McCoy, Smith, O'Brien, and many more names." Each time Sam would say, "Yep, his name's on the list." And at that point, some of the men wanted to talk to me. And usually it was to tell their mothers or wives that they were okay. That's not that unusual for me. Anytime I go to a burial place, there are people who want to talk to me. And it's because they can see Ma. They're in spirit, and they know that Mom's in spirit. And so they start talking to me. So for a long time, the place we took my boys when they were small was to graveyards, because they could run and play and chase each other and have a great time, and I could sit and be contacted by the people who were still there. In March 2019, our yoga master, Laura Marshall, invited Mother Vanamali Devi from India to speak at a CCL Thursday night class about Hinduism. Part of her lecture involved chanting the 1,000 names of Hindu gods and goddesses. And I was sitting there just kind of drifting off. I saw Ma dancing in the circle. Each time Vanamali would say the name of a god or goddess, Ma would take that form. He was an elephant, then a tiger, then a female, next a multi-armed goddess, and lots of warriors. I whined to Ma, "I'm tired, when can we go home?" He stopped, looked at me and said, "No, this is my religion. How many times did I sit in that pew with you listening to people who droned on and on? How many different religions did you look at before you decided that you were spiritual, not religious? This is mine, I'm staying until the end." "Okay," I said, and watched on with a smile on my face. We were there for 3 hours, and Ma danced for 3 hours. And, and nobody else could see him, but it was really neat for me to watch him change and take on all the different forms of all the different spirits.
1,000 different.
And I mean, this is one of the latest stories I'm gonna tell you. Then I'm going to ask if you would like to have me do a reading on you. I call it a case of murder, not suicide. A mother and her daughter came in to see me because her brother Joseph, this is the daughter's brother Joseph, had been found in his bedroom with a necktie around his neck, hanging from the doorknob. The first police at the scene said he had committed suicide because of a bad drug deal, and he was an addict. Friends had passed the hat to get money to pay my fee to help her and her family learn the truth. When they came in, I could feel Ma in the room. The family were devout Catholic and were worried Joseph would not be able to get into heaven. And they particularly wanted him to, because he'd been clean and sober for 2 months and had been out of trouble for 6 months. And they were very excited that he'd make it to heaven. As I was talking to his mother, Joseph appeared in my office with Ma. So here I have 2 spirits. One was a very sad-looking young man with loads of tattoos. The other was Ma, just standing there looking at me. to make sure I could see this other man. They killed me, he screamed. I wouldn't have committed suicide. I'm clean, have a great job, and my girlfriend is pregnant with our first baby. Tell them that 3 guys broke into my house, stole my money and guns, then put a belt around my neck, pulled me back, and Marcos put his knee in my back and tightened the belt. At that point, he started to fade and said, tell them I'm moving into spirit. I love them all very much, and I would like my daughter to be called Josie. Eva's sister said, he was here, and she yelled, I could feel him. I know he was here. I filled him in on what happened, and as she left, I said, please take your brother with you. After that, I bought a fountain for my office because I was felt it was too dead in there. And the movement of the water in the fountain would keep it a little bit, not quite so dense. They went to the police and told them they had to exhume the body and look at it more carefully. They called me later to tell me that the bruise under the thigh showed a slender belt had been used, and there was a knee imprint on Joseph's back. 2 years later, I received a call saying that Marcus had been found guilty of Joseph's murder.
Yay,
And
justice.
his daughter had been named Josie. And Ma let me know that Joseph was happy. And that was one of those that I remember so much because it was so intense. And they had driven down to see me from Daly City and had trouble finding the place that when I was living in Cold Circle. But helping people that way has been so beneficial for me. Being able to help people with readings, being able to help people speak to their ancestors that have gone on, being able to help people find what's good for them. I have had so many people call me. I'm doing readings just on the phone now, not in the office anymore. And I have people that call me and say, I need to talk to you. And I say, okay, it's going to be on the phone. They say, but I want to come see you. And I say, I'm sorry, I'm just doing it on the phone. And they say, okay. So I'm doing a lot of phone readings, and I'm still finding Ma very helpful. And the thing about getting in touch with your spirit guide is, for me, it was so easy, but it is also easy for other people, I have found out. All you have to do is get very, very quiet and say, I'd like to speak to my spirit guide. And then if you don't hear anything, say, I will call back tomorrow at 6. Let them know when you're gonna be looking for them. Because each one of you has a spirit guide. Each one of you does. A lot of you have women spirit guides. But as Ma says, it doesn't make any difference whether they are male or female. It's just that they are an energy form that is not in place here on Earth. And when I asked Ma, where do you hang out? And he says, in spirit. And I said, what's that like? And he said, I'm not going to tell you. It's so wonderful, you're going to want to leave and be there. And he said, and you have still a couple more years to spend on the earth. So I say, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend some time here. And so right now, I'm going to have you, whoever wants to ask Ma a question, raise your hand and ask a question.
And unmute yourself.
Jean Lyon said she would love to know what Ma has to say about her lost cat, Callie. Is she alive? Will she come back? She's been gone for
alive, but she's alive, but she doesn't want to come back. She's got some honey somewhere. Okay, so tell her she's alive, but she doesn't want to come back. Okay, Deidre.
Hi, thank
Hi
you.
there.
Hi, everybody. Dottie, you and I had a reading recently, and you had mentioned one of my family members that I was asking about, well, that one had returned 3 years after she had passed. and that my mom specifically that I was asking about said she's not ready to come back, but she will. My question is, with spirit guides and talking about our ancestors and our spirit guides like this, so when they do come back, does that mean they're no longer in the spirit realm to guide us, or just kind of wondering a little bit more on that realm?
They can come back. Your mother doesn't want to come back right now. She's having such a great time. She doesn't want to come back, and because she's not sure whether she wants to be a man or a woman.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's kind of keeping her in spirit. She's happy being in spirit. Nobody cares whether she's male or female. So that's why she's doing that. And but other than that, that's about all I get about your mom. But
Okay.
I love that. She just, Ma says, she just doesn't know whether she wants to be a man or a woman when she comes back. And she's thinking she might go to another place. That means another planetary system.
That tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Deirdre.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes.
Judy Jacobs asked if her, she said she needs to have another surgery. Is it safe for me?
Who are you?
Me. Hi, Dottie. It's
Thank
Judy.
Yeah.
Judy. Yeah.
Yeah, hi.
And you're the one who wants to know if you get another surgery?
Yes, I've had so many surgeries and I have to have my shoulder done and redone. And I'm a little nervous about having another surgery. I wonder if it's safe because I really don't want to leave the planet.
It's safe for you to have another surgery, but it's not safe for you to say, I don't want to leave the planet.
Oh.
Because what that does, it sets you up in a contentious role where you say, oh, but I don't want to leave the planet. And then that sets you up in I don't know what I want with my life. So what you want to say, I need my shoulder operated on because I want to do X, Y, Z. Just put it into your life. My guide says you need to talk to Creator about what it is you want to do with your life and say yes to the surgery.
So be positive about the whole thing and just not even think of the other.
Right, exactly.
Because it does creep in. And so I don't, okay, that's good advice.
Right.
Also, just a quick question. I lost my best friend about a year ago. It's been very, very quiet. And her name is Barbara. And I was wondering if you picked up anything Ma did. Or is she just gone on?
She's still in spirit. And Ma says that Barbara wants to be in spirit because she says she hasn't been as happy in life as she is in spirit.
In spirit. So Dottie, when Ma or you say she's in spirit, how do we picture that? Does that just mean she's out there and just not wanting to connect with humans again, or out there with her twin and her other friends? What is out there really?
Out there is whatever you want to imagine it.
Really?
Because if you put it into your head and say, okay, God, okay, spirit, okay, whatever, what is spirit? And close your eyes, you'll get a picture of it. And that's where because spirit is what you want it to be. And you don't have to worry about it not being a great place. It's a great place to be.
Isn't the image, Dottie, the best metaphor for you personally to understand?
Yes, yes, yeah.
So that's why everyone gets different images?
That's
This
exactly
will
it.
really help them understand what spirit is?
Right.
Okay, cool.
So one time I picked up a shiny penny and that had a message. Someone in heaven wanted to talk to me. And I stood up with this shiny penny and I saw a picture. It was like looking through a kitchen window. And I saw my mother, my father, and my mother's mother. And it was just in bright colors. So to me, and my mom said, I'm so happy here, I wish I'd come sooner. So to me, heaven is bright colors and happiness.
Right.
Because I saw that so clearly.
Right.
But but I also see life kind of that way, as bright colors. So heaven can be the way you see it, but they were giving me an image that I can understand and reflect and
Right.
respond to.
Exactly. That's a good one for Joan to think of. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes, Christine asked, when I retire, where will I end up living?
Christine, one more time. I'm sorry.
When I retire, where will I end up living?
My guide says in either Northern California, way, way northern, or Oregon. Is that okay, Christine? Yeah. She says that, but you're not going back east, and you're not going to the Midwest, and you're not going down south. You're going to be staying on this area. Okay, in northern California. or Oregon. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, there's Arlene.
Arlene, hello.
So my question is specifically, Ma, is there ever going to be a time on this planet when people won't care whether you're masculine or feminine?
Whether you're masculine or feminine,
Yes.
it's going to keep getting, for Ma says for the next 200 years, it's going to get stronger, and then it's going to ease up. But for the next 200 years is a long time. But when you look at it and you're looking back into 1800, that's not that long. And
So
It will
I'm
get
confused.
stronger, that male or female, either way, or
it's
will be accepted, or that it'll become more controversial.
it's going to be more controversial than it has been.
So it'll get worse before it gets better.
Yep.
I guess that's what the
And
question
the
is.
reason being is that there's a lot of women who want to stay a woman and stay dependent on their husbands or dependent on their father or that type
Sure,
of thing.
sure.
And they keep it from moving differently. And so that's why Emma says.
I'm concerned because I've got a grandson who's a trans person and is currently engaged to marry another trans person. And I'm just wondering what life will be like for them.
Now that's different. That's different than male, female. Trans is different. And the difference is positive for them. It's what society does. This is how society looks at them that Ma says is a problem. And hopefully it's going to change, but not during this politically framework that we're in.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
So Stephen,
Stephen,
and then Evers, and then, yeah, so we've got a line up here. Stephen, go ahead.
Okay, so speaking of male female, anytime there's a strong patriarchy, there's also, it seems to me, like a really strong current of matriarchal influence. Why don't the matriarchs just seize the day and take over? I think that's my question.
Well, let me tell you a story. Bob and his wife were here, Dottie's son were here and talking about his grandkids, and they're third graders, and the boys were on the playground, and the girls, they felt it was their turn to be on the playground. I don't know why they're isolated, but anyway, and the boys said, no, we're not gonna let you have the playground. So the girls went back, regrouped, and beat the boys up and took over the playground. Third grade. So anyway.
You see, that's the girls that I grew up with. What happens to them? It's so dumb.
It's because of stories, TV, movies, everything else that we're shown every day about what it's supposed to be like. And as soon as they can change a lot of that and show trans people having a happy life in nearly every movie that you see, if they're trans, they get shot or they get humiliated or whatever. That's the big problem that we've got going on in this country. And this country is easier, California is easier with trans than a lot of the other states.
But other countries seem to be.
No.
Not really? Okay.
No, a lot of other countries are really worse.
It's like we breathe in the smog of our oppression, right? And like I just keep thinking, I was 4 years old when my dad taught me how to braid my hair. He only taught me because I was like, Mom, can you teach me how to braid? And Mom was like, I'm busy right now. And my dad was like, oh, I can teach you. And I said, you know how to braid? Because my little 4-year-old self somehow had already absorbed the message that men don't do braiding and that kind of stuff. Now girls do. I mean, and I will admit, I watched a lot of TV when I was a kid. Like, the question is, what haven't I seen from the 80s? Not what have I seen, because I've seen so much. Anyway.
Emers,
Yes, ma'am.
what's your question?
Hi, Dottie. Hi, everybody.
Hi, babe.
I just want to let you know I'm going to be home on October 2nd, and I'm staying till the 26th.
Oh,
All
great,
right.
yay.
Great.
So my question for Ma today is I would like to know what is important that I'm not seeing and that I need to know.
You need to see what you're gonna do when, how much longer you're gonna be in the job that you were in.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that.
And that's a big thing, because it's, you've reached the level, the highest level you can get to in this job.
Yeah.
And Ma says it's time for you to start saying, hey, let's look at something else to do. And don't look at retirement. Don't say, oh, well, I could retire early. No, that's not for you. The next thing that you do is going to be the thing that's going to make you the happiest.
Oh,
Okay.
that sounds great.
What direction is that?
What?
What direction is that?
Up.
Up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's what
Skype.
I was thinking. Up.
Skype.
Okay, Sky.
Yes.
There you
I'm very,
go.
I would like to, hello everyone. I would like to ask Ma about Crystal's career path right now.
Right now, she's looking for another career path, and but she still should be doing something to help other people. She isn't ready to just sit and work all by herself. She needs to have a job where she's working with other people. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you let Lynn ask her question?
Lynn, you had a question?
Oh, I was making a comment earlier. Oh, it was just on the trans, like very briefly. I think that what's really trying to happen is complete fluidity in our roles in life so that we can pick and do anything we wish to do. That may or may not mean altering our body as a child. It may mean just freeing up to take on things that have been called male and female over time and be playful.
Ma says that,
Yes, and.
Ma says that would be great, but he doesn't see it happening for at least
A couple
50
hundred
years.
yeah.
Because of the people that we have that are coming into politics are still following their elders. And we've got to get it to where the people who are now in their 20s are getting into political positions.
Casey said that this is the Aquarian age we're going into, which will be, the feminine will very much come into balance. So, the masculine.
That's, okay. Okay.
Anyone else? Lauren?
I'm right here. I was wondering, I had two quick questions. How can I best weather this chaotic season at work?
Just don't do it. Just say, hey, it's a beginning job. Things are rough. I'm gonna have to work through it. Don't think about getting another job right now because it would look rough on your resume.
And how can I best support my friends? There's many friends going through some major career change right now.
And what about that?
How to support them, her friends.
Do you want to know how to support them?
Yes.
Listen to them. Listen to them and let them know each one of your friends that's going through problems with the job should be able to hear themselves say the right thing. So Ma says what you do well is listen to people and let them talk. And they have the answer within them. I see two females that have the answer within them. They just need to talk it out. So listen to them.
I have a question.
Okay, John?
I want to ask Ma how he sees the United States government and as a country unfolding in the next few years.
Ma says that it's going to, it depends on where you live. It depends on what you want. Ma says that there are so many people that want different things that until people get more on the line, it's just going to be as helter-skelter as it is right now. And but it's people aren't in alignment, and that's what it's going to take.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I have been noticing things out of the corner of my eye, sometimes a little tiny flash of light, little tiny pinprick flash of light. What's going on?
It's not, you're not seeing it's psychic stuff, it's physical. And it's something that you should figure out by going to the eye doctor and ask them what it is.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Megan, would you like a reading?
Okay, hi. I would like to ask Maud what we can do to pray for peace in our world and amongst our families. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
What can we do to pray to have peace in the world and amongst our family?
I'm sorry, you're going to have to ask that again and mean it.
I do mean it. I would like to have some peace in the world and in our families, and I want to ask the best way to pray for peace on a daily basis.
Okay.
What are the best?
The best way to pray for peace is to take a time once a day. It can be any time, but make it the same time of day and ask for peace. But you have to be specific. What do you mean by peace? Do you mean getting along with family members? Do you mean getting along with different races? Do you mean getting along with different sexes? What is it you're looking for in peace? Because that's what Ma says, is your question wasn't definitive enough. You need to be more definitive in what you're looking for. Do you get that? Joyce, I'm surprised you and Patty don't have something.
Well, actually, I do have a good morning.
Good morning.
Yay. So Dottie, I've been sitting here thinking about my deceased mother, Louise King Brown, and I would like to know how she is doing.
She's doing fine. Ma says that every time you say her name, Ma giggles because he says that she is doing fine and she sees you as a representative of her on the planet.
Ah.
And you see her as somebody who was there, but your dad being representative of you. But she sees herself as being representative of you on the planet and is waiting for you to die so she can have fun with you.
Okay. I don't plan to rush that or anything.
There's no time on the other side, right?
There's no time on the other side, so she's not saying it has to be at a certain time.
Okay, that's good to know because so much happened and changed with us. So it's good to know that because
it sounds good. Really positive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does sound good.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So Dottie, you truly are psychic because we were sitting here with the sound off and saying, gosh, I think I'd kind of like to ask this, but I'm not sure I want to. So there you go. Dottie, yeah.
Got us pegged.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been just having a lot of challenges with my health, with my digestion, really, and I've really been set back, as far as my digestion, and so a lot of difficulties around reflux, that kind of thing, and so it's not healing quickly. So I'm just wondering if there's something that Ma sees that I need to do, or is there something else I need to address or look at in a different way?
Yeah, Ma says you need to look at your diet more closely, and you're on a really good diet. But there's some foods that your body just doesn't know how to digest right now. It's going to get back into digesting them, but right now you have to watch it. And so, do you find your food that really works for you and stay on that for 5 days?
Okay.
See if that doesn't help, because you don't have any open wounds or sores in your stomach. It's not that. It's like there's places that when food sits there, it irritates it.
Oh.
Ah.
And so it gets irritated. So we want food that moves faster through your system.
Got it. Okay.
Oh.
Thank you so much. It's really informative. Thank you. And this whole morning has been informative. Donnie, I could listen to your stories all day long. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So let me ask a question. Do you have time for me to ask about my father?
Sure.
Okay. And my daddy's name is Joseph Levi Thomas Brown. And I'd just like to know how he's doing.
He's not in spirit anymore.
Okay. I wondered.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more?
Yeah, he came back, but he came back, and he came back as a white man, and he came back being he's a young boy right now, but it's not because he chose to be white. It's just that that's what happened, and he's a male, and he is delighted. He's in a family that has money, and he loves it.
Great.
Okay, that says a lot about my dad in terms of what I remember from him as being the daughter in this life.
Yeah.
And so, okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay.
So Ruth asked if she could sing a song.
Yeah.
Okay, Ruth.
Okay. I'm sorry I don't have any instruments, but I kept feeling like I should share the song.
Now, can you guys hear her? Can you hear her okay? When she's talking?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Or do you want her to come around to the stage right here?
We can hear.
It's no real stage.
All right. Of course I wrote this. Like 2 of the stanzas I wrote a really long time ago. Maybe 20 years ago. God, it made me sound old. I'm only 46. And then the chorus was when came up to me when I was massaging someone. And then the 3rd stanza came to me actually today.
Wow.
And I wrote it down. So
Great.
yeah,
Let's go.
Okay.
all right.
Do it, girl.
Down in the darkness, deep in the light, under all emotions, virtues are might. We are the light, we are the hope, we are the plan to live well and whole. We are endarkened, we're enlightened. Increase our endurance, so we're not engulfed. We are the light, we are the hope, we are the plan to live well and whole. We're full of weakness, we're full of strength, helping one another become peacemakers. We are We are the plan to live well and whole.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Very nice, very nice.
Really
Good job,
very,
babe.
very- You're talking about what?
Past lives.
Past lives.
We're going to talk about past lives.
So tune in for us, and we'll have to make sure we're working.
Yeah.
So that's.
Thank you, everyone, for sticking with me.
Yeah, and thank you again for passing the basket, and thank you for.
We give thanks for all of these contributions that come in today from this group and from the people online and people that support us throughout the world to support our community. And we affirm that regular giving creates regular receiving. And we give thanks for that truth. We look forward to a great week, a peaceful week for us personally as we go forward, creating peace as we go ahead day by day. We're moving from Virgo into Libra, so there will be a little nervousness about that. But in Libra is a peaceful idea planet. And so I'm looking forward to being in Libra with a little peace and a lot of ideas. And so it is.
And so it is.
Maria and Milan said early on, good, beautiful last day of summer from Maria and Milan, and happy autumn.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
And then I'll bypass the people who dropped in questions.
Not necessarily.
Did we get all the questions answered?
Yes, I believe so. I'm still looking. Hold on. Little Sky says, I enjoy hearing what Ma has to say, but I love you, Mama Boon, more.
I agree with that. Thank you.
Thank Sorry, Mom.
And Ever says, have a wonderful day, everybody. I need to call my dad back before it gets any later. Much love and take care. Okay, Steven says, thank you for not being too hardball, Ma. Jean Lyon says, thank you, Dottie and Ma. Janice says, thank you, Dottie, Corky, Ruth, Joan, God and Goddess et al. Arlene, love to all. Janice, to everyone, have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. And the recording will be on the CCL Insights soon.
Oh, really? You were able to do it?
Yeah, with that, yeah.
Oh, so that's great.
That's the one that's doing the recording.
Okay, so thank you so much.
So we're leaving.
Everybody. Good day.
Appreciate it. See you next week, if not before.
See you next week. Yes, if not before.